New York City will be choosing a new mayor on the 2nd of November. All right, there'll be a national election day as well. There's an election going on down in Virginia and also in the state of New Jersey, governorship. But in New York, it's all but said and done that Eric Adams will be the next mayor. He's a Hamite brother, former borough president of the borough of Brooklyn and former police officer, will be the next mayor of the city of New York. His only competition right now is the Guardian Angels from many, many moons ago leader, a fellow by the name of Curtis Sliwa, who tried to mount a conservative campaign against Eric Adams, but he didn't have the money or the backing of Wall Street and everybody else that got their hands in the till of the poor people's pockets of America, of New York City. So Sliwa didn't make it. But Curtis Sliwa put a little ad out there last night. I saw it. I thought I'd put it up on our page so we could help slam Eric Adams. But go ahead, run Sliwa's ad about Adams.
The history of people saying we don't like Eric Adams. Eric Adams is a racist. We hate Eric Adams. That's fine. Go back to Iowa. You go back to Ohio. New York City belongs to the people that was here. As the state senator and borough president, I've had the opportunity to date some of the most attractive women in the city. Show me the money. That's what it's all about.
Let's do this one more time. I don't want you to get an overview. Let's go through step by step, right? People says that Eric Adams is a racist. They said that's cool. I'm cool with that. Is that one more time, Mr. India? I want to step at the 4 segments here. Let's go segment number 1, and then I'll take a pause after this one, right before we go to segment number 2.
There's a history of people saying we don't like Eric Adams. Eric Adams is a racist. We hate Eric Adams. That's fine. Go back to.
Whoa. Who is it that's saying it, Eric? Who's saying that? Who said you're a racist? Is it Japheth people that are saying, or is it Jewish people that are saying, or is it Hamite? They're saying you are racist. Why are they saying it? What I believe about Eric Adams and whether he is a racist or not. Can I just be upfront with y'all? I mean, I think it's very difficult for any Hamite person, and I rather call him black because a Hamite represents a status of purity and righteousness, I would want to think. So I call him a black man. It's hard for any black man to be a politician without being a racist. And the only reason, can I just talk to y'all? I figure y'all talk to this, and I believe this. This is just my opinion, Facebook algorithm people. I believe that, and this is my opinion as a pastor, here in Harlem for 40 years. I think I have a right to speak. I believe that the liberal Democrats and Japheth and Shemite people will not let a black man. Now, I say that I would prefer to call him a Hamite, but Hamite tends to talk about nobility and righteousness and a good character person. I don't think Eric Adams is either of those, so I call him a black man, right? I think that liberal Democrats want a racist. They want a racist black man so they can put up to shut up conservatives or Republicans. That's what I believe. Now, I could be wrong. I've been watching this for a long time. Liberals, Democrats, Japheth people, they don't support conservative ideas if you are a black man. They will kick you to the curb so quick. They want a racist. They want a racist in there to raise hell in the mayor's office. Wall Street wants a racist. And Eric Adams, I believe, this is my personal opinion, Eric Adams, it ain't because of your political skills, because, boy, I don't think you got any. I don't think you got it. And Curtis Sliwa ought to tell you, you ain't got no political skills, man. You can't talk. You're not a speaker. You're not an orator. The only reason why Wall Street and these liberal Democrats here in New York are allowing you to be mayor is because you are racist, and that's what they want. They want a racist person in there that they can control. They want a super Uncle Tom. And that's who you are. All right, Mr. Engineer, what was the next segment he did?
You know, go back to Iowa, you go back to Ohio. New York City belongs to the people.
Whoa. Go back to Iowa, go back to Ohio. Hey, Eric, how about you go back to Africa? Hey, how about that? Anyway, Mr. Engineer, let's leave that alone because that's really getting close. That's getting cutting to the quick. Let's see what else he got to say.
As the state senator and former president, I've had the opportunity to date some of the most...
Whoa. I thought I heard. That's what I thought I heard. As a state senator and as a borough president, he's had the opportunity to date some of the most beautiful women in New York City. Is that what he said? Is that what that boy said? I'll ask you a question. Can Keith Wright date? He was a state assembly person. What about the rest of it? Are you saying that by becoming a politician or a president, that opens up the door for all that, causes all the women to drop their, that's what, you and all the good looking ones too. Once you become borough president, you got it going on. You got match made in heaven. You can date all of them. What a dumb thing to say. And he got on some sort of a robe that represents some sort of scholarship. What a dummy. He had opportunity to date women. Well, Eric, I would think this, that, maybe your only appeal is your political office. Because looking at your mug, I'm not sure anybody would want to date you. All right, let's move on to the next one, Mr. Engineer, because we're running out of time.
Show me the money. That's what it's all about.
Whoa! That's a line that came from one of those movies that I think Tom Cruise played in that movie. Y'all remember him? Tom Cruise and that other boy, that Hamite boy, I forget his name. Show me the money! And so I guess that's what Eric is all about. And that's going to be the next mayor of New York City. Let me say this to you, that here's what I think. I think that, first of all, we're going to have the lowest turnout of a mayoral election and probably since David Dinkins and maybe beyond that, because it's all over with the shouting. Curtis Sliwa is not going to, and I tend to have an admiration to some degree for Curtis Sliwa. I do. He came up to our church one time to support me, so I'm giving him a shout out. But I tend to think that. It's all over with, and nobody's going to come out to vote for it. If out of a city of 8 million people in New York, if you get 50,000 people to vote, that will be a landslide. But no matter what, Eric is going to win. Curtis is not going to make it. But Curtis, I say to you, hang around. Here's how you do. Curtis, let me pull your coat or something, Curtis. Mr. Guardian Angel, let me pull your coat. Stay on Eric Adams like white on rice. And once he be down there at his installation, watch every move that he makes, and then maybe 4 years from now, you can be mayor of New York City. And, we'll see what happens. All right, so I wanted to be able to get that off my chest as well. Eric Adams, and probably the lowest turnout in all of New York history, is getting ready to happen.